Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a first look at the brand new Sony 50mm f1.2 G Master lens. Now, of course, my A1 just arrived for review from Sony, and as I stated, along came this little baby. And this is exciting because this is promising to be one of the sharpest pieces of glass on the market right now for Sony's native E-mount. And at $2,000 US, you would expect exactly that. So let's take a look. The lens cap, or rather hood, I mean, is plastic. So if you were hoping for metal, not happening. Put that out of the way. And there is the 72mm thread. Again, this lens, I think, is, it could have been larger. So I don't think it's that bad when it comes to size. I think Sony did a really good job. Build quality is excellent, as with all G Master glass, so that's no surprise at all. And this is a pretty versatile lens. I mean, depending on what you plan on doing, I mean, this is just about as fast as it gets. And paired with a camera like the A1, it should produce some amazing images. Of course, like with most Sony G Master lenses, we have the click switch, so that if you want to audibly hear your steps through the aperture, you can. On the flip side, if you're shooting video, switch it off, and now you've got a smooth ring that will not be recorded, which I think is great. Lock buttons, of course, really customizable, and your autofocus, manual focus switch right there. Nothing else. I believe this is made in Thailand, like all of the Sony gear as of late. Let's take a look on the A1, exactly what this build looks like. And again, it just arrived, so I haven't had the pleasure yet of taking it out and shooting, but that is going to be my next step. And, I will be comparing this to I have a few comparable lenses, and I will take a look at them and see how they perform, but this is a really slick setup. And if you're looking to shoot, I mean, this can be used for a wide variety of things. I mean, from video to still, this is kind of, a perfect focal range for a lot of applications, so I don't see this as being limited in any way, shape, or form. If you're looking to shoot portraits, you can basically do whatever you want with this. Granted, some of you are going to be happier with 85mm or even 100, depending on what you're doing, but I think this is definitely optimal in a lot of situations. And then the fact that we are dealing with an f1.2 piece of glass that is in the G Master realm, I expect very good low light performance. So I will be testing this. I don't have an A7 III or anything to that effect. So all of my full frame bodies are high megapixel count. They're all A7Rs. I have a 2 and a 4. So I still expect there to be some noise, but the quality on this should be stellar. I mean, there's no question about it. That's what you pay that extra premium for G Master glass, not just the physical build quality, the fit and finish, but of course the images you're most importantly getting out of that glass. And it'll also be interesting to see whether or not it truly can resolve the 50 megapixel sensor here or the 61 megapixel sensor in my A7R4. And in doing so, is there a rub? Is there a trade-off for getting all of that resolution at f1.2 with a 50 mil perspective? I don't think there will be. I mean, Sony has really done an excellent job on the majority of their G Master lenses. That's why the majority are reviewed and rate fairly well with consumers and pros alike. If you've got the budget, you're really not going to beat them. There are a lot of other options in this realm that are even third-party manufacturers, but again, nothing generally will beat what Sony does. Granted, a lot of Sigma glass is incredibly competent. They're still made in Japan. And who knows, Sony might bring manufacturing back to Japan as well. I know the Japanese government's been requesting it, but it doesn't mean that it will happen. Either way, this is a solid pairing. It is a little bit weighty, but I think considering this is arguably one of the best bodies in the full-frame mirrorless world, and really in any on the planet right now, regardless of your format. And then in addition to that, you've got one of what should be the sharpest 50mm lenses on Earth paired with it. It's going to be tough to go wrong with this. So I will be shooting 8K video with this, even though I don't have an 8K display. I will be shooting a ton of stills to see how this performs. I've only got a few weeks, but I'm going to make the best of it because this is a really nice pairing right here. And I'm glad that Sony was able to get both of these together, although it would be a no-brainer, right? They are they're all in the same quarter here in 2021. But hopefully this pairing doesn't make me want to forget about my A7R4. That's what I've been worried about with the A1 altogether, is that it is the best of both worlds, and now with a lens like this, some serious damage right here. So for this pairing, you're looking at about 8,500, obviously. You can do the math, 6,500 plus $2,000 before tax out the door. So a steep, price, but quality that should be unlike anything else in the marketplace right now. And again, really flexible for both still and video work. That's my expectation here. So we're going to see. And of course, 4K 120 I plan to test with this glass, and the Full HD 240 frames per second as well. Just really exciting. So hope everyone enjoyed. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.